Hey, what's up guys, it's Damien and I'm back for another video. And today is an unfortunate day because net neutrality was repealed by the FCC, and here's the video showing exactly how it went.
Media Bureau, Tracy Walden. With that, we will call the vote. Commissioner Clyburn.
I dissent.
Commissioner O'Reilly.
Aye.
Commissioner Carr.
Aye.
Commissioner Rosenworcel.
I dissent.
The chair votes aye. The item is adopted with editorial privileges granted as requested. Thanks to the staff for your terrific work on this item.
So yes, unfortunately, they have decided to repeal net neutrality rules that were made by the Obama administration back in like 2015 or 13, around that time. And I have some opinions I would like to share, but before I get to that, I have to show you guys the facts first. So what you really need to know for now is that these rules are not put yet. They will have to go through Congress or the Supreme Court. Once they allow it, these rules can be put in place. If the Supreme Court allows this to go through, then we will not have net neutrality, and we will have something that is probably far worse. Net neutrality will probably not get saved. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because Verizon lobbied over $10 million to congressmen and women to say that net neutrality is bad. And since the vote ended 3-2, I think you could see how that affected the vote with lobbying. I called 8 of my local congressmen and women, and they've literally have like no clue what that's for another video, what net neutrality is and why we need net neutrality. They just stated what it is, but they don't really know what it means to, for example, the government or the American people, you know. And I guess what really frustrates me the most is that 3 people decided for 300 million. Now, what I mean by this is that 3 people decided what can happen to 300 million people. If you don't know, the USA has 300 million Americans in the USA, and only 3 people decided to say, you know what, this is what's best for 300 million people. Do you know what's best? You know, having slow down internet, paying more for internet that we could be paying so much less for. This is like the most anti-consumer thing I've seen, and I've seen EA try to pull this shit off with the supply drops or whatever. This should show you that net neutrality is at risk, and that the American, like, I don't know how to say it, the American system, I guess, is unfair as Now, just so you guys know, 20 states, almost 20 states are going to be suing the FCC for, well, let's see for what. This article states that it's suing for putting corporate profits over consumers. Now, I 100% agree with this because they only care about money, even though they make so much money. They still make a lot of money, and 20 states, including New York and California, the 2 biggest states in the US, I would say, those 2 are suing the FCC for corporate profits over consumers. Now let me tell you this. Wasn't the American government, the slogan at least was, by the people, for the people, with the people, something like that. Well, it's not really all that true when your corporate slave owners, aka Verizon, Communist, Cast, and Spectrum, those are trying to put your internet at risk by lobbying tens of millions of dollars to congressmen because God forbid net neutrality stays. It's so bad, you know. And investments can be hurt. Innovation can be hurt. Well, innovation, what if a guy makes let's see, what if a guy makes a second Facebook? Like, second Facebook as in, it's like Facebook and it's just as big as Facebook. Guess what? Verizon's gonna ask them, hey, you should probably pay us the millions of dollars you owe us. If not, your internet speed. You're gonna get no one on your website. Your traffic is going to be very low because no one can even access your website. So how about you pay up? This could very well happen, and what can also very well happen is packages. So we have, for example, the email package. Say you really love using email, like Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Hotmail, AOL Messenger. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's say you like using that. Well, you're gonna pay $14.99 a month so you could use your favorite email services. How about the Twitter package? One tweet's gonna cost you about $5, and if you want to use the 280 characters, you're going to probably want to buy the Twitter Premium for a very low price of $59.99. And with that also comes the ability to make another Twitter account that will be at about $69.99. They could very well do this, and they probably can if they want to. Now, just because this has been put in place by the FCC that they don't want net neutrality, this is not the end of the fight. We still have a long way to go, like with Congress approving it, and also, them not losing all their money because 20 states are suing the FCC. I want to see how that's gonna go, honestly. Now, the thing is, we don't know if it's gonna be settled in court or Congress, but that shouldn't really matter because, I mean, it does kind of matter because, guess what? They could still lobby the judge to say that, you know what? I don't like net neutrality. I just don't. And what really also, I mean, I said this before, but how does 3 people decide what 300 million people are going to be doing? First off, okay, this is a little off topic, but the elections. You guys know how the election works? If not, I'll tell you how it works. The election works like this. You go to like a school or someplace, you cast your ballot, and that ballot goes to a House of Representatives, I'm pretty sure. And guess what? It's not you who decide, but you're deciding for the people to decide for you who your president should be. Let me repeat this. You're voting for a person to vote for you, to vote for a president that is going to help you. I don't know, but that's what it is. It's not that you decide who the president is, it's that people who want, for example, let's just say this, you wanted Hillary to be president, you could vote for Hillary, that's no problem, but that ballot goes to these congressmen, and you know what, if they don't, you voted for Hillary, but let's say they just don't like Hillary, oh, they could very well vote for Trump. This is going a little off topic, but that's pretty much how it works here too. Do you want to take an estimation of how much people voted to keep net neutrality? Just take a guess. 95% of Americans. Those 5% are these rich people who just don't care. These 1%ers, these businessmen, all these people don't care, and these people are like rich fucking white grandpas who have nothing, who don't even know what the internet is, and maybe post on Twitter once every year. That's who these people are. You're telling me that almost 95%, that's about 300 million people, those people got left. Those people were not even considered. But those 5%, all that little 5% group, those are the people who actually mattered. Anyway, Ajit Pai, this Ajit Pai person, he's the FCC chairman. You probably saw so much memes about him, how he's a corporate slave, he's sucking Verizon's... And actually, Verizon, he's an ex-Verizon lawyer, so, you know, you guys want to know some history? History lesson right here. He was a ex-Verizon employee. He was working for Verizon. And, you know, ever since he became the FCC chairman, Verizon just called him and he said, "Hey, yo, Ajit Pai, I know you used to work for us. How about you give me that new repeal for net neutrality?" And this is what they did. And it went through, and now we're just waiting for Congress or the Supreme Court to allow this. And I really hope we don't. Like, they don't allow this. They should already know. And to end it off on a note, these are the 2 women who destroyed Ajit Pai when the FCC was, when they were trying to repeal net neutrality. These were the people who were deciding whether or not net neutrality should be repealed or should be stayed. Thank you, and have a good day.
I'll host a town hall through Twitter next week on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But what saddens me the most today is that the agency that is supposed to protect you is actually abandoning you. But what I am pleased to be able to say today is that the fight to save net neutrality does not end today. The agency does not have the final word. Thank goodness for that. And as I close my eulogy of the 2015 net neutrality rules, carefully crafted rules that actually struck an appropriate balance in providing consumer protections and enabling opportunities and investment, I actually take what I'll just call ironic comfort in the words of then Commissioner Pai back in 2015, because I believe this will ring true about this destroying internet freedom order. I am optimistic, he said, that we will look back on today's vote as an aberration, a temporary deviation from the bipartisan path that has served us so well. I don't know whether this plan will be vacated by a court, reversed by Congress, or overturned by a future commission, but I do believe that its days are numbered. Amen to that, Mr. Chairman. Amen to that.
Yo, I ain't here for the money.